Welcome to Drechtsteden in South Holland, a region shaped by its historic waterways and strong industrial presence. But that industry has left a toxic legacy. This is the Chemours plant, formerly DuPont, located just 4 kilometers away from Dordrecht city center, beside the residential neighborhood De Start and the Lower Mever River. Since 1959, it has produced materials like Teflon and Triton, but also serious environmental harm. In 2012, Chemours switched its production from PFOA to a group of substances called GenX, but only in 2013 it came to light that Chemours has been emitting hazardous PFAS compounds affecting over 3,500 residents through this earlier used PFOA. PFAS, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, are known as forever chemicals because they barely break down in the environment. Chemours now produces a PFAS variant called GenX, which enters the air and water during production. These chemicals accumulate in our environment and bodies. They mainly enter through contaminated food and water and are linked to liver damage, thyroid issues, infertility, and cancer. Local residents have long raised concerns about water safety, soil contamination, and long-term health risk, especially in neighborhoods like De Start. Dordrecht's story is a powerful reminder of the impact industrial pollution can have on communities and why environmental accountability matters more than ever.
The PFAS pollution crisis in Dordrecht isn't just a chemical problem, it's a policy challenge shaped by overlapping laws at the international, EU and national levels. Those layers create complexity, slow enforcement and leave communities vulnerable. Internationally, the Netherlands is part of the Stockholm Convention, which aims to eliminate persistent pollutants like PFAS. Some have already been banned: PFOS in 2009, PFOA in 2019, PFHXS in 2022. But with no binding deadlines, global progress is limited. At the EU level, GenX chemicals from Chemours are classified under the REACH regulation as substances of very high concern, which means it poses a dangerous health risk to humans. The Drinking Water Directive, effective 2021, sets PFAS limits at 0.5 micrograms per liter overall and 0.1 in specific compounds, enforceable by 2026. A 2023 proposal aims to ban over 10,000 PFAS in non-essential uses, with thresholds as low as 25 parts per billion. Nationally, the Netherlands goes further. Its drinking water standard is just 4.4 nanograms per liter, far stricter than the EU. Environmental permits under the Environmental Activities Decree have reduced Chemours' GenX discharges from 6,400 kilograms in 2013 to a target of 2 kilograms by 2025. Courts have ordered Chemours to adopt stricter monitoring and reduce emissions. Policy responses include soil relocation bans, surface water discharge restrictions, and a 25 to 50 million euro cleanup plan to excavate 1,300 polluted gardens near the plant.
But what about the residents in the area and their opinion on the matter?
Hello Peter, you're a concerned citizen from Dordrecht, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. I'm from here, the start in Dordrecht, and we are really worried about our health. Last year we protested with everyone against Chemours because we are really worried, and we actually want them to stop immediately with emitting PFAS and maybe even move out of our city.
And could you tell us how living near Chemours has affected your life?
Well, you know, for many years we used to grow our vegetables and fruits in the garden, and that's just not allowed anymore because there's PFAS in the soil everywhere in the surroundings. And yeah, we cannot eat anything from the garden. I used to give strawberries to my kids during the summer, and I don't even let them dare touch the soil anymore. And there's now apparently enormous amounts of PFAS in breast milk, higher cancer rates in the surroundings. We cannot swim in the lake in the summer anymore. Should I keep going? It's insane.
Wow, that has really quite an impact on you.
By the way, the part about the swimming in swimming water is not true according to the RIVM, but yeah, we don't trust anything from the government around here.
Oh, and why is that, if I may ask?
Well, they did not do anything to protect us. They only cared about the money. They only cared about protecting Chemours. They knew about it, about everything, all along, all the time. Only the court and judges were on our side.
And how does that make you feel? Do you feel unsafe?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really scared for my health. I'm really scared about the health for my kids, for my family, for my friends. And if I knew this before, I would have never moved here.
And so what do you think should happen now?
Well, Chemours say that they changed some things, but we don't trust that. We as residents just want them to clean up all the pollution that they did in the water, in the soil, everywhere. They should compensate us. Or actually even better, they should just close. Leave our city. And if only the government should do things to stand behind our side, maybe they can win back our trust.
Thank you.
On the other hand, Chemours represents a contrasting view regarding the situation.
Thank you very much for allowing us to have this opportunity to share our view. And at here in Chemours Dordrecht, we take our environmental responsibilities seriously and are fully committed to operating within the limits set by Dutch authorities, including the RIVM. We closely monitor our emissions and regularly report data to ensure full transparency and compliance. We produce important materials like fluoropolymers that are essential technologies supporting cleaner energy, safe healthcare, and modern electronics. These products are used globally, but they start right here, contributing to a more sustainable future. And at the same time, we're a key employer in the region. Our site provides stable jobs for hundreds of local residents, and we work closely with local businesses and educational institutions to support long-term economic development. And to minimize environmental impact, we've also taken institutional and physical actions. We have lowered our emissions, operate under strict environmental permits, and follow national and EU regulations, and are part of formal agreements that ensure accountability and continuous improvement. On site, we've invested heavily in emission reduction systems, containment upgrades, and water treatment technologies. We've also initiated a soil cleanup efforts to address past impacts. And in Dordrecht, we're fully committed to Chemours' sustainability goals and have already seen strong results in cutting emissions. And we're working toward achieving a 99% reduction in fluorinated organic compound emissions by 2030 and net zero greenhouse gases by 2050. Our goal here is clear: to be a reliable neighbor, a responsible manufacturer, and a contributor to the region's well-being. Thank you very much.
The debate over Chemours in Dordrecht remains unresolved. A scientist has reported that Chemours has continued to discharge far higher amounts of GenX into the water than was permitted. However, since this study was conducted by a non-governmental official, there has not been any action towards this persistent issue. Chemours maintains it operates within legal limits and highlights its economic role and environmental efforts. Yet residents question whether existing regulations truly protect public health. A potential EU-wide ban on PFAS could bring change, but uncertainty remains. For now, the responsibility lies with authorities to investigate and act decisively.